All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here today on this Wednesday morning. Yeah, I saw not Wednesday, Tuesday morning. Oh my God. My days are a little mixed up. I'll explain a little bit about that in just a few here. It is Tuesday, April 30th, 2024. If you are here live, if you're checking this out on the replay down the road, listen up because there's going to be a lot of great information here today about a very serious topic that I've been trying to get through to people for quite some time. And I think we are about to finally start making some headway. But before we get to all of that, first of all, let me make sure that everything is rolling smoothly. Let me check out the back end of YouTube and make sure that it is rolling well, and it looks like it is. Let me also make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out, and it looks like it has. And let me do a sound check real quick. Wednesday morning. Yeah, I saw it not Wednesday, Tuesday morning. Oh my God. My days are a little mixed up. I'll explain a little bit about that in just a few here. It is Tuesday, April. All right. All seems to be rolling well. All right. First of all, I don't plan on being on too terribly long because of a very important show I'm going to be a special guest on, or the special guest on, later this morning on the Hot Facts with Robert Reese channel. I'll get more into that in just a few here. I'll probably be on for about maybe 30 minutes, 45 at the most, but I'm going to try to keep it to 30. I took the day off yesterday. I had quite a lot to do in my personal life. I had some things to take care of for Don and I and my family. Just a lot of stuff going on. So if you missed me yesterday, I'm sorry about that. I'm back today. Life happens, right? But I didn't really pay too close attention to YouTube yesterday a little bit. And yeah, it was kind of quiet for the most part. It was pretty quiet for the most part. And even people that typically make more hateful and abusive type of content were actually doing something respectful. And I commend that. Maybe you should keep that up and see how that pans out for you compared to always creating content that, trashes other people. Creating content from conflict and inciting donations from an audience that seems to enjoy hateful and abusive content. I can never understand, why people would pay creators money to incite hatred and attack other creators on the platform. Even if it's all fake instigated, it still hurts the people that are being attacked because not everyone understands it at the level that I understand. And I'll be sharing more about that later this morning on the Hot Facts with Robert Reese channel. The YouTuber formerly known as GLM is here in the house. Good morning to you, GLM. You're here in the San Francisco Bay Area with me. It is 4:32 a.m. Pacific time here in my neck of the woods, 7:32 a.m. Eastern time. Again, good morning to all of you. Thank you so much to the 7 people that are here right now. I'm sure most of you will be watching this on the replay. I wanted to do this. I took a nap earlier and I got up in the middle of the night to do this show because I wanted people to watch this show as a prelude to what's going to be happening on the Hot Facts with Robert Reese channel. And the part of the direction that Dawn, my girlfriend Dawn, and I are going to be taking our channels out here on YouTube, right here on Coach Eli 2 Authentic Live Streams, and also the main channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas. And if you haven't subscribed to the main channel, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas, please go below in the description. a couple lines down, and click the link, or just go to youtube.com/Life Coach Eli, or at Life Coach Eli is my YouTube handle there. And subscribe, bang the bell, and select the notifications, because Don and I, and apparently now some other great creators out here like Hot Facts with Robert Reese, and I'm even hoping that Dennis Jerome Jr. gets involved in this. We're going to start to take a stronger stance against cyberbullying and harassment, online bullying, online hatred. And I must start off by saying I'm very thrilled that Robert wanted to discuss this. Robert chose this topic on his own. I'm sure his wife helped him out. Together, they're a great team. And by the way, Emilia, thank you for your community posting. Emilia, you've been unbanned on both channels, and you're back to being a moderator here as well, along with your husband, Robert. And thank you for the warm welcome back, Emilia. I greatly appreciate it, and so does my girlfriend, Dawn. But Robert and his wife, together as a team, came up with this topic about cyberbullying. I'm very impressed by that, Robert. Sincerely, wholeheartedly. That's the absolute best topic we could be discussing right now. It needs to be discussed. Not only in spite of what's been happening to myself on this platform over the last 6 years, but this has happened to many other people that don't understand it as well as you and I do. There are people out here that are new to the platform, or haven't been doing this as long as we've been doing it, and they get run off the platform by people like this, by trolls and haters, or even creators that, like I mentioned earlier, like to create content from conflict. They like to intentionally go around YouTube and stir up the pot and either make things up about, these people or these creators are talking about, or other people are talking about, or they highly exaggerate something that's true. They take something that's true and they exaggerate it, right? So, for example, if I make a mistake or someone else makes a mistake, people make honest mistakes, right? They exaggerate it or overly emphasize it and keep repeating it, time and time again, just to continue to try to, bury that creator and continue to, entertain their audience that continues to donate for this type of content. And it's really sad. It's just a really sad thing that I feel has been completely played out and really has absolutely no place out here on YouTube. There's absolutely no place out here on YouTube. Now, YouTube's taken a stronger stance on this, and they've been more so removing this type of content. But, these creators are smart. They find workarounds. Every time they get shut down, they'll start a new channel, and then they'll do certain things to try to keep that channel around longer. So they find loopholes and they keep on doing this. So no matter, what efforts YouTube puts out there, or us good creators, put out there as a message to try to stop this, these people that want to continue creating this content will always find a way to do it. So I think the best way to tackle it is to just raise awareness and collaborate with great creators out here like Robert Reese, and even you, Dennis Jerome Jr., and some others that may be willing to come on board to support those people that have gone through similar things like myself, being bullied and harassed on the platform. Okay, the more support we get, the more we can combat this, and hopefully, at the very least, put a big dent in stopping it, or doing whatever we can to end it once and for all, which, again, it's going to be hard to do because, yes, it is the internet, and people can continue to create new channels even if they get removed, for doing this, right? So that's the direction Don and I want to go. Don and I were talking yesterday and over the last few days. And I mean, she hasn't paid as close attention to what's been going on like she did in the past. She's more focused on getting healthy and doing other things that are more productive with her time. But I do make her aware of stuff, and she does see some things. And all she has said is that this is just ridiculous. It's become more boring now than harmful. Yes, it's still harmful, but it's just been really, really played out, and it's basically just clogging the YouTube airwaves. That's all it's doing. And that's her stance on it. Yes, she wants it to stop, and she supports me in my future efforts to stop it. But, as far as, where she stands on all of this, she's just learned to accept that some people are like this. And whatever they're saying about her, whether it's true or not, it doesn't affect her. And that's the thing. What we need to do as positive creators, the good creators that are, in this to, combat the creators that are harming other creators, we need to more so reinforce positivity in the creators that are being attacked, the good creators that are being attacked by these hateful creators, and say, hey, look, what they're saying and doing has nothing to do with you. It more so has to do with them. It more so has to do with how they see themselves and how they feel about themselves. Even creators that are just pretending to be this way to make money, they're suffering from something deep within, because in my opinion, there's no normal human being in their right mind that is going to want to pretend to be a jerk or an asshole and pretend to attack people on the internet and say, and pretend to, do harmful things to people on the internet just as a form of entertainment. In my opinion, it's very narcissistic. And it basically tells me that particular creator creating this type of content doesn't have any faith in themselves that they can be themselves out here and create a following that way. So, that's where I stand. And Don is pretty much, on board, with the same thing in the same ways, right? So Don and I are going to see how the Hot Facts with Robert Reese show goes later today. And depending on the response and depending on how it feels to once again reunite and work with Hot Facts with Robert Reese and his wife, Amelia, we see a future of doing a series of shows like this. Now, I'm going to make some suggestions out here. I'm going to put some suggestions out here for the good creators like Robert and Dennis Jerome Jr., because there are a lot of shows we can do, real shows we can do that are more productive and will be more beneficial to the audience, and will also help us grow better than continuing to deal with this stupid drama, whether it's coming from my former group involving Jamie. I'm going to mention him because I have to. There's a reason why I have to mention him, right? Whether it's coming from the Jamie Legion group or whether it's coming from the gig economy, because I'll tell you this, there's been a lot of drama in the gig economy as well. And there's actually a lot of stupid drama in pretty much any community, right? So there's a better way to handle this for the real creators, to, I will say, minimize the drama. It's impossible to get rid of all drama. Drama is inevitable, right? But we can minimize it and focus on more positive content. But in order for that to happen, we have to have more control over what we allow and who we allow on our live streams. And we can't allow these trolls and haters to come at us and say, oh, you're trying to control freedom of speech. Oh, you're trying to control who comes on and who doesn't. Of course, because we want to run a real show. We don't want to run a shit show because you haters in the audience are paying, to, have these creators, belittle and attack other creators because it entertains you and it allows you to fill a void that's missing deep within yourself. That's the problem there. There are people that are paying good creators to create crappy content and attack other innocent people on purpose, because the people paying the money, these creators, are hurting deep within and seeing these creators attack innocent people like myself, okay, that are happy. Apparently, it must give the people paying these creators to do this type of content joy and happiness. It makes them feel better about whatever misery they're struggling with. That's honestly all it boils down to. So if we're going to move forward in the positive way, if we're going to move forward and create real content, okay, we have to have more control of our channels, and we have to have more control over who we allow on our panels and who we don't, okay? Now, if you want to run a drama shit show and have a free-for-all panel, and you want to bring a group of 8 or 10 guys on a StreamYard, it's going to be a big shit show, and it's going to be a pee-pee swinging contest, okay? And I'm not about that. I'm 50 years old. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not about that. I want to talk about serious nature topics that people are struggling with and share our experiences with the hopes that we help these people overcome whatever they're struggling with based on how we did it and by sharing our past experiences once again, right? Okay. So with that being said, later today, if you're here, watching this today before this show happens, if you're here live, if you're on the replay before the show happens on Tuesday, April 30th, 2024, I'm going to be the special guest on the Hot Facts with Robert Reese channel at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Okay. I've shared the link. On my community tab here on Coach Eli too. And after the show ends, I will also share the link to the Hot Facts with Robert Reese show in the description section. So that way, if you come across this video after today's show happens, I'm sure Robert will keep the replay up for forever because he doesn't delete stuff. That's good. You can always catch the replay down the road. Okay, so the link will also be below in the description here on Coach Eli 2 Authentic Live Streams. Okay. So that is that. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about Dennis Jerome Jr. Because he's been a hot topic around here, and I actually respect Dennis. I think Dennis is a wonderful guy. There's been lots of talks regarding myself doing a debate with a guy named Jamie that's been coming at me for the last 6 years on YouTube. He's known as Lycan Legion, Lycan Theory. He's known as Lycan. I mean, if you've been around for a while, you know who he is. And if you haven't been around, try to follow along or maybe step away for a while and come back, when we create some other more, general broad-based, content. But following this story will also teach you how to deal with cyberbullies, which I consider him to be a cyberbully. Okay. But I actually, I don't even know if I consider Jamie to be a cyberbully, because I'm not afraid of him in any way, shape, or form. And I don't think a lot of people are afraid of Jamie. So I don't think, calling him a cyberbully is the right word. He's a harasser. So YouTube categorizes this type of hateful content. YouTube categorizes this type of hateful content as cyberbullying or bullying and harassment. Okay. So I don't know if I can necessarily call him a bully. Maybe he is, but I don't think people fear that he's going to go real life on them and show up on their doorstep and do something, right? Okay. But what I do consider him is a harasser. Whether his content is made in fake instigated ways just for cringe entertainment content, or it's real. Either way, whether it's fake instigated or real, it's still harassment. Harassment is harassment, whether it's fake instigated or not, right? So we were gonna do a show on the Dennis Jerome Jr. channel. And I was actually looking forward to that. I was actually looking forward to it. And a few days back, I did a stream a couple nights ago, and I shared that I'm not going to be doing this. But then I changed my mind, and basically I said, okay, let's just open it up. You can say whatever you want to say, Jamie, and I'll say whatever I want to say. Let's just open it up wide open on the Dennis Jerome Jr. channel, right? And then I'm not going to get into specifics out of respect for Dennis. Out of respect for Dennis, I'm not going to get into specifics. All I will say is this: I received an email from Dennis, and based on what was mentioned in that email, I wasn't too thrilled with what was said in that email. And what I will say is, this does not involve Dennis. I respect Dennis. I think he's wonderful. And I hope to work with you, Dennis, down the road, whenever that may be possible. But I received an email from Dennis. I'm not going to mention what was stated in it, but I wasn't thrilled with, some of the terms that were involved in making this show happen. Let me put it to you that way, okay? Then, Dennis wanted to talk offline. So, we traded phone numbers, and we talked off of YouTube. We got on the phone. I trust Dennis that he didn't record me. I didn't record him. Dennis, people like Jamie and other people that he works with, anytime you have a conversation with them privately behind the scenes, they record it, and then they don't tell you about it, and there's no beeping going on in the background. They do that because they're going to blast you on YouTube, and they don't care about the law of needing to make people aware that they're being recorded. In most states, the two-party state, that both sides need to be aware of any recording happening from either side. But I didn't even care about that, and quite frankly, I don't even care if people record me anymore, because I'm aware that people do that now. I initially got caught off guard when Jamie did that to me many, many years ago. I'm much more careful with what I say now to anyone on YouTube that I talk with by phone or any type of recording. Now, people can still splice you out of context, but, typically on those calls, they really don't. Okay. So I never say anything to anyone behind the scenes that I wouldn't go out and publicly say myself. So, if whatever you talk about with somebody behind the scenes is no different than what you would share live on the air like I'm doing right now, then who cares if they're recording you or not? Yes, still against the law in most states, if they don't make you aware. Now, there are some one-party states which there's a gray area, regarding that, where you don't have to really tell the person. But most states, including California here where I'm at, Florida, and some other states, many other states, are two-party states. Again, I don't care about talking with people behind the scenes. I still won't talk with certain people ever behind the scenes, like Jamie and other people from his side, because they will record me. They record everyone, in case you say something that they can use against you for fake instigated drama, cringy content to make donations off of you, right? Hey, Donna, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Hi, all. Lunchtime here in the UK, hence why I've made a live. Wonderful. Great to see you here. Thank you so much for being here. Good day to you. We're at 25 minutes. So I got to wrap this up over the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. 25 people here. Thank you so much for being here. Good day to everyone. So I talked with Dennis by phone, and it was a great conversation. He's a good guy. He just wants to help people, and he just wants to have his chance to be a successful YouTuber like the rest of us. I can't blame the guy for that, and I won't. I think he's phenomenal. And what I will say is this, regarding what was mentioned in that email, Dennis, when we got on the phone, he was very, very fair with what he offered and suggested that he would be willing to do for me. I do commend you for that, Dennis. I do wholeheartedly. I respect the fact how much you were willing to sacrifice to do this show. Now, obviously, anytime that you run a show like this on your channel, it could potentially bring you new people, or it could, bring you the wrong people and more so hurt you. I think in this case, I don't think it would have overly helped you, but I don't think it would have hurt you either. I think it would have just been another piece of content, and it would have probably gotten you some people. But the fact that you were willing to sacrifice things for all parties, not just myself, you were willing to make sacrifices for myself, for Jamie, and others. Now, I'm not going to get into detail regarding that out of respect for Dennis, right? It touches my heart. And what I told Dennis was that you would not have to make those sacrifices for me. I just want to give. I'm a giver. I'm more of a giver than a taker. Okay? I just want to give by participating on your channel. And, whatever comes out of it down the road, whatever's meant to be is meant to be. It's another exposure opportunity for everyone, including myself. And I would just have been happy to have had another chance to be on his channel. Donna says, Eli, I'm not sure that anyone who agrees for you to collaborate or go on their channel have your interests at heart at the moment. Robert's motives were questionable before. Yeah, no, Donna, I understand that, but you got to take some chances. And if you're gonna move the needle forward, you can't shut everyone out. I understand where you're coming from. I think this time around it's going to be a little bit different because we already know what's going to happen. The people are going to come in the chat. They're going to trash talk myself. They're going to trash talk Don, and we're just going to ignore it. And we just want our chance to collaborate with other people and share our stories and talk about, similar interests. In this case, it's bullying and harassment. So I understand that. It doesn't matter where I go, Donna, or where Don and I go. If these people have it in them to follow us everywhere and harass us in the chat, and the creators don't want to ban them and they just want to let them speak, then that's just the way it has to be. But I get where you're coming from. I completely understand where you're coming from, and I greatly appreciate your support on that. But, we got to push forward. If we're going to move the needle forward, we've got to push forward through all of this. I hope you understand that. Respectfully, what you say makes perfect sense, but we gotta keep pushing the needle forward. 29 people here. Thank you so much for being here. But I decided, Dennis told me to think about it, and I haven't had a chance to get back to him. Hopefully he watches this video or someone tells him about it. I've decided that that I'm not going to do the Jamie debate on your channel, and I have no plans on even doing it anymore. Now, I will make one exception. I will make one exception that I already know, and I guess I heard through other people. I didn't hear it come out of Jamie's mouth. Maybe he mentioned it somewhere buried in one of his 4, 5, or 6 hour marathon live streams. I can't sift through 6 hour drama shit show live streams to find one spot where the guy is saying that he's not interested in going on certain channels and he'll only do it on Dennis's channel. But I was told that behind the scenes, and I believe it. So, but regardless, despite the fact that we're not going to do this on Dennis's channel, not because of Dennis, it's basically for other reasons that involve Jamie, and I'm just not going to participate on a show that has certain stipulations made by Jamie. That's just not going to work for me. Cynthia, good morning. How are you doing? Welcome to the show. Sweet Gemini, I guess I just don't understand why you have so many haters. Well, I have a lot of haters because Jamie and JB Gunner years ago, after I banned people that I felt were rude on my channel, they came in and invested a lot of time to create the Coach Eli haters. They reached out to all these people, and they created these hate groups. And a lot of the people that, are a part of the Coach Eli hate group, I'm not saying all of them, but many of them are either mentally challenged or they have some form of disability. And I say this respectfully. I don't care if they say I'm attacking them. I'm not attacking any of them. But a lot of the people that support channels like Jamie's, these are people that have, serious mental and emotional issues, psychological issues. Or they are people that have a low self-esteem. They lack self-love. They lack self-respect. Does that make sense, Sweet Gemini? And when you're dealing with people like that, there's no reasoning with them because they're so miserable. They're such in a deep state of self-hate that it's hard to explain any logic to them, any positive logic to them. You know what I'm saying? Donna says, Robert needs to have some control on the chat. Criticism is okay, but bullying isn't. Well, I get it, Donna. I understand what you're saying there. Again, I'm going to let him run his channel the way he wants to run it. I'm going to ignore the chat. If there are legitimate questions, I may answer them. And if they aren't, I won't. It is what it is. And to my audience, please, let me give my audience a suggestion. Okay. To my audience that has stayed away from shows like this because of the chat, do you know from your phone or your laptop or desktop, if you're seeing people from Jamie's end or the Coach Eli haters go in any chat and trash talk me, you can block them to the point of where you will no longer see them or no longer see their messages. All you have to do is either on your phone, tap on their name, and then just click on block. And what will happen is you will Google block them. And wherever you go on that same account and they're typing, you won't see what they're saying. And you won't see what they're saying for the rest of the show. On a laptop or desktop, just click on the 3 dots to the right of the person's name and just select block. Okay? Now, you don't need to be a moderator. This is not blocking them on the channel you're on. This is blocking them on Google, meaning that you can't see them wherever they're at on Google or YouTube, and they can't see you wherever you're at on Google or YouTube. So just block these people. Please do not stay away from the Hot Facts channel today if you're a supporter of myself and Don, or Don and I. Block the haters. Just block them and you won't see them. And then just chat amongst the normal people. Use the blocking feature, folks. Okay, 34 people here. Thank you so much for being here. Please smash the thumbs up. We have 3 likes. And please share this out. I'd greatly appreciate it. We're at 34 minutes. I got to wrap this up soon. So here's the thing. I'm going to make this offer again. even though he probably won't do it. This is your final chance to ever have a conversation with me. Period, Jamie. If you want to pop on at some point throughout the interview tomorrow or the show tomorrow, it's not an interview, it's just a show him and I are doing. If you want to pop on that show, give us at least 30 minutes. Robert and I need at least 30 minutes to go through some questions and stuff. And then if you want to pop on, Jamie, I'd have no problem with that. Okay. Now, Robert, like I was saying earlier, we have to have some control over who comes on these panels and who doesn't. Because if we just open it up to anyone, people are going to come on and just try to project and attack just because they hate myself or you for whatever reason. And I don't think that would make a great show. Okay. Let me see here. Good morning, says Cynthia. Donna says, hi, Cynthia. Cynthia says, Donna, with the smiley emoji. Sweet Gemini says, I hope Robert doesn't talk over you the whole time. Sometimes he rambles. Well, sometimes I ramble too. I mean, everyone is different. Look, I understand that, people are going to criticize every creator. We all have our own unique styles. Some of us overtalk others. Some of us, can talk and then listen. And, I'm just taking people for who they are. I'm taking Robert for who he is. And, when I get a chance to have my say, then I'll have my say. If he cuts me off, he cuts me off. I'm not going to sit there and be critical. I'm not going to be that critical over someone, But I understand what you're saying, sweet Gemini. I'm just, I'm starting to have a lot more tolerance for little knacks here and there, little stuff like that you can let go, right? Robert triggers easily. Well, that's your opinion. I mean, anyone can get triggered easily. I just choose to not get triggered easily anymore. I still get triggered at times, but, I have a lot more control over what I allow myself to get triggered by and not. And it's not even me getting triggered anymore. If people do something stupid, I'll call them out. And I'll call them out with heat and passion. I'll give it to them straight up. Donna says, I agree, sweet Gemini. I'm British and sometimes I struggle with the American dialect. Well, that's something that is hard to understand too. I mean, YouTube's a global platform, so we've got audiences here from all over the world. And like you said, Donna, it makes sense. Your dialect's going to be different than ours. Like people in New York sound like they're mad when they're happy. People in California, when we're talking with people from New York and they got that attitude sounding voice, to them, that's just normal speak. And I've just learned to understand that's just their dialect, like you said. So yeah, everyone has their own dialect. That's a great way to put it. 39 people here. Thank you so much for being here. So Jamie, if you want to pop on anytime 30 minutes or so after Robert and I get a chance to talk about some things, no problem. Also, Robert, a few other people I wouldn't have a problem having on. One is Dennis Jerome Jr. Dennis Jerome Jr., if you want to pop on, I would not have a problem with that. And also, Planet Mondo. I would not have a problem with Planet Mondo. I'm sorry. I think Don woke up. I'm hearing Don in the other room with the dogs. It's okay. I'm sorry for the distraction. We're going to end this real soon. Don's face when you overtalk is very expressive. Well, I mean, look, to be fair, everyone can overtalk anyone. Don's overtalked me. I've overtalked her. I'm not trying to overtalk anyone, but here's the thing, Donna. I'm a very expressive person. I can be controversial. I'm not afraid to call people out. I'm an in-your-face type of guy for the right reasons. I'm all about tough love. And sometimes when you tough love people, they want to cut you off in the middle of that tough love. It happens. I'm just used to it. So, no, I understand. And some people are, less experienced at this than I am. So, they're going to react. That Jamie guy is probably the most triggered person on YouTube. Well, sometimes he pretends to be triggered. Other times he really does get triggered. I mean, he knows exactly what he's doing. Okay. It's fake instigated drama, conflict, content from conflict and fake instigated drama. He knows what he's doing. So he knows what he does is going to upset people. And so, he has a tolerance for people getting upset because he knows what he's doing is going to make people mad. And he needs to keep doing that to make his money, right? But what really triggers Jamie is the people that, don't let him get away with it. Because to Jamie, he thinks that, he has the right to criticize people at this level. And no, he doesn't. He doesn't. It's harassment. Donna says, I know Eli, it's quite touching. You and she have a lovely dynamic. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I love Don. Don is phenomenal. And look, I mean, here's the thing. If Don and I were to come out here and, try to stage the perfect relationship, then we'd be phony. I think my relationship with Don is as perfect as any relationship could be without it being perfect. I think my relationship with Don is perfect because it's not perfect, because we're real and honest with each other. And that's what we put out to the world. We put out who we really are. And I really appreciate you acknowledging that, Donna. Thank you. It's very kind of you. 42 in the box. Thank you so much for being here. Please smash the thumbs up and please share this out. So Planet Mondo, I liked what you said on Roy's panel the other day. And, yeah. If you want to come on at some point, that would be no problem with me. Robert, I think we should limit this to Jamie, Planet Mondo, and Dennis Jerome Jr. and nobody else. Not because I'm afraid to deal with anyone else. If we start bringing on everyone, we're going to be there for a long time. We're going to be there all day, which we don't have the time for that. And also, it's going to be a shit show, right? And I want to limit this show to 2 hours max. 2 hours max. We got to limit these shows to 2 hours max. Now, in the future, let me address like Real Talk with Roy and other creators that may want to talk with me. In the future, I'd be willing to do a one-on-one show with you, Roy, on Hot Facts channel. Or anyone else that wants to talk with me. As long as, and I'm going to make it very clear, I'm a YouTuber, and what I do care about people, and I do this for more than just the money, but I am a business also. So anything I do from this point on has to make business sense as well. So I'm not looking to get on a panel with just some random troll on the internet that wants to come and bash me that has no audience for me to leverage. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not going to do that. I will talk with anyone that has a YouTube channel. Doesn't matter if you have 100 subs or 1,000 subs or 10,000 subs or more. What matters is you're actively trying to grow a channel and you have an active audience. That's all. That's all. That's it. I don't care if your active audience is 1 or 2 people. I'm not gonna deal with trolls. Okay? Planet Mondo has a channel. Dennis Jerome Jr. has a channel. Right? Jamie shouldn't have channels because he's been banned for circumventing, but he has channels. So, these people have an audience. They all have an audience, and I have to do things, and I'm gonna do things that make business sense. I'm not gonna waste my time on letting any random troll, nameless and faceless troll, come on the panel and waste my time when there's nothing to leverage. And yes, I do want to leverage, and I want to help other people leverage me. It's a two-way street. I want to grow exponentially together. And if you don't like that, tough luck. You want to criticize me for that? Tough luck. That's a smart way to do business. And to, that's just a fair way to do things. It's a fair way to do things. Sweet Gemini, you should debate the DeLorean. She's much smarter and more logical than Jamie. I'm not interested in talking to her. I'm not. I have no interest in talking with her because her audience is the Jamie audience. And quite frankly, I don't want to leverage the Jamie audience. It doesn't matter to me. There's really not much to leverage there because they're all haters, right? They're not going to support Don and I genuinely. The reason why I want to talk with Jamie, I'm giving him the last chance to do it on Robert's channel later today, is because I really just want to see if he can just come out and say, hey, look, this is fake instigated drama. This is for entertainment. And yes, it does hurt people. And yes, I do push the boundaries. And yes, a lot of the things that I've done, to make money and create controversy, were fake instigated. I thought I just heard something. Okay. No, we're good. I just really wish for one time, Jamie would come on and say, hey, this is what I've done. This is how I've made my money. I've had no shame in doing it, but I think it's been played out and I want to do something else. Like, honestly, dude, I really would like to see some truth from you because that is the truth. Yeah. I mean, again, I have no interest in debating the DeLorean. I mean, there's really nothing of value for me to leverage there. No disrespect. She can do her own thing. But I've heard some of her shows and, yeah, we're too far apart. We're too far apart on our views and, what we're trying to accomplish. I want to focus my time working with people that have similar interests and, values and ethics. Okay. She's very, very hardcore, right-wing extremist. She's very, very, very conservative. And I don't have a problem working with conservative people or liberal people, but I'm not looking to work with extremists one way or the other. Just because I'm on the left doesn't mean I'm going to work with leftist extremists, but I'm also not going to work with right extremists. I'm not. I don't want to work with extremists. I want to work with people that are reasonable and there's some middle ground where we can, compromise on things and have respectful conversations and respectfully disagree instead of attack people when we disagree. People that are on the extreme, on the left or the right, tend to typically attack the other side when there's a disagreement. And I just don't want to deal with people like that. That doesn't get us anywhere, right? So yeah, that's about it right there. We are at 48 minutes. I am going to get going because I need to take a nap before the Hot Facts with Robert Reese show later today. Happening on the Hot Facts with Robert Reese channel at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Please, again, if you're a part of my audience, show up. And if someone is attacking myself or Don or anyone else and you don't want to see them anymore, you can block them. You can Google block them right there from the chat, from your phone or from your laptop or desktop, and you won't see them for the rest of the show. And just keep blocking them. And then just only talk with the people you want to talk with and enjoy the show. It's not fair to Don and I for people on our end to not go to a different channel where we're on to support us just because there's hate there. You're in control. Block these people and please stick around and enjoy what's happening on the stage. You can block what's happening in the chat individually at your disposal. So take advantage of that. 40 people in the box, 2 thumbs up. Please smash the thumbs up. Come on. Please smash the thumbs up. And share this out. So, I was going to say something and I totally forgot. So yeah, again, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. I'm at the end of the show, at the end of the live. So by the time you get to the replay, or if you're watching this down the road, I'm going to share the link to the show I'm going to be on. Whether you watch it live or on the replay, below towards the top of the description here within this video right here on Coach Eli 2 Authentic Live Streams. So that is that. So let's see what happens today. Let's see what happens today. And if I get a chance, I may do a walk here on Coach Eli 2 later tomorrow to share what happened on the Robert show, on the Hot Facts with Robert Reese show. Or if I don't do a walk, I'll do maybe, a brief stream from the studio here on Coach Eli 2 tomorrow night or tomorrow evening at some point. Okay? So that is that. Thank you to everyone for being here. Please go and support the show later today. It would be greatly appreciated. And please help us. Help us, end online hate. Help us end bullying and harassment. Support that show and I'll share more there. With that being said, have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other.